Hello, Star Wars collectors. Welcome back. It took them years, but they did it. A second Bad Batch figure. This time it's Crosshair, or CROSSHAIR, as Omega would call him. Let's have a look. So yes, look, there's Hunter. This was the first Bad Batch figure. Now, I know I'm not right. I know they did the 4-pack. Cool. But the first Bad Batch figure was Hunter. That was 3 years ago now. And he's been standing all alone on my shelf ever since. Until this week, when his brother Crosshair finally joins the collection. And I suspect we will be seeing more Batchers pretty soon. Crosshair is VC370. He is I assume this is his season 1 look. I mean, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but that certainly looks like his season 1 actual member of the Bad Batch. Possibly only ever wore these clothes in one episode look. This guy has one of the most interesting arcs, I think, of any Star Wars character, certainly any Star Wars animated character. So across those 3 seasons, he goes some places and does some things, and loses some parts. And it would be great to see other looks for Crosshair, even, I mean, they'd basically be repacks, because in a lot of cases just be repaints. Very excited to finally have this guy. Very compelling character. This had such a big gun in it, it flew halfway across the room. The Hunter action figure was interesting because he was kind of gummy. There's some gummy aspect to his plastic. He was a little softer than action figures usually are. And his brother, I note, I think kind of the same, maybe not quite as bad, like the feet are a little bit more solid, but you know what's hilarious about this was true with Hunter as well. These guys have the worst foot pegs in the vintage collection. You can see here I just drilled a damn hole in Hunter because I just got sick of it, but like that's not even a hole. Like that is a modest indentation. That's the guy right there. Head sculpt looks like David Strathairn. Don't at me. I always find it funny when they have to do realistic portrayals of animated characters. I would really just rather they do animated style. Like I don't know. I always thought the animated style figures in 3 3/4 inch were fantastic. So I'm sorry that they don't think they can do that in the vintage collection, but whatever. They did a realistic version. I suspect this guy's a little too heavy. Crosshair is a really, really, really skinny guy, but I bet you they wanted to reuse as many parts as they could and still generally capture the look, which I'd say that they did. Like, I don't think this is off model for Crosshair. I just think probably a perfected version of Crosshair is a little bit less stocky. I don't really go over articulation in this channel, and I think I'm about to stop pretending that I would even try, because I don't care. You know what the articulation on a vintage collection figure is, but what I'm really interested in here is just sort of the overall look of the figure, which is pretty good. Like the pauldrons there are separate pieces. This pauldron's got that weird, like long, I don't even know what functionally that is supposed to be, thing that sticks at the side. He's got a functional holster. He's got this bandolier that the holster is part of, that goes over his chest area there. Unlike Hunter, and I think per Hasbro's new policy for the vintage collection, that is not a removable helmet. That is a swap out head for the helmeted look. You will not be able to take that helmet on and off. So we'll pop that guy off there. Pop that on. And yeah, that is definitely what Crosshair looks like. And of course, movable rangefinder, not surprising. My guy is kitted out. He is, of course, an assassin and a sniper, so of course he is. Comes first of all with his smallest gun that fits into his little holster there. And then right alongside it, the reason he comes with a whole second weapons tray, his very, very large gun, his sniper rifle, which, boy, oh boy, that's a big piece of plastic. Like, look at the size of that thing. That's no moon, that's a sniper rifle. At this scale, I doubt you could get him like lying down sniping somebody, but no, I don't think he's got enough waist articulation to allow a lying down pose, among other things. But he can almost hold it in both hands at least. There we go. That's pretty good. And finally, his backpack. So that's a pretty kitted out figure. I don't know how Hasbro makes, I don't think there's actually any real logic to it, how they make the differentiation between what is considered a deluxe figure and what is considered a regular figure. This really seems like he's in the boundary of this. They would have tried to call him a deluxe figure just based on the fact that recently deluxe figures seem to just be anything with a lot of accessories. This guy's got a lot of accessories. 2 guns, swap out head, and a pistol, plus all the greeblies on his body. Like, that's not any small amount of tooling for however much they were able to reuse parts from other clone troopers or Hunter or whatever. That's still a lot of production on a little figure there that is theoretically a standard release. Now, I know standard releases are whatever they are now. I mean, here in Canada, I think they're $24, but that's a great figure. Look at that. That is really nice. I'm very, very glad that Hasbro is returning to the Bad Batch at last. I hope we see Tech and Wrecker pretty soon. Obviously, the thing I want to see the most is Omega, but I know how these things take time, so we'll see. Nice work on the Crosshair figure. Glad it is finally here. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week with another new figure.